and welcome back to the Woodshop. Today is Maketember 18th, aka Fire Day. So today we are making whiskey smokers, we are making charcoal grill fire starters, we are making wood butter, as well as we are burning in our grill marks onto our grill scrapers. A lot to do today, let's jump right in. First we're going to be starting to welt some max. Guys, I'm so dyslexic, it's not even funny, that's not a joke. Okay, first we are going to melt some wax. First we're going to melt some wax and some mineral oil together, and that mixture is going to be making not only our wood butter, but it is also going to be helping us with our fire starters. This is a ball jar canner boiler. I use this to melt wax. So it currently has some old soy wax in it, which a lot more than I previously thought. You can use soy wax, you can use beeswax, I probably wouldn't steer towards paraffin wax, but honestly it really doesn't matter if you just got a bunch of old candles at home and you want to throw and melt them up for a project like this. You can easily do that as well. So obviously you can use yellow beeswax, but if you're using this as furniture butter or wood butter or whatever, that yellow will give a slight yellowish hue to your project. So if you're using like a nice bright white wood like maple, if you're using yellow beeswax, it will give a slight yellow tint to it. So I'm using white. Alongside that, we're going to be putting in a gallon of mineral oil. You can go online and find a lot of different recipes for wood butter. Let's go ahead and get on to making our whiskey smoker. So this is going to be one of the very few projects where the wood type does matter, but mainly later. Whiskey is made in oak barrels, specifically white oak. So for this project, I'm using white oak, and then the shavings that I'm going to be using later are going to be white oak shavings. This is going to be the most simple design for a whiskey smoker that you will see out there. It uses very readily available, cheap parts off of Amazon, as well as your blank of wood doesn't have to be huge or anything like that. We're using 1-inch wood, but you can easily get away with using 3/4 for this. Our wax is almost melted and ready to move on to the second part, but before that, let's go ahead and talk about this little whiskey smoker. You can see that there's very minimal burning just from that one burn that we did. The inside is meant to be charred and burnt and stuff like that. I just used a little bit of wood off of block plane and put it in there, set it on fire, and yeah, there you go. I think it worked pretty darn well for what it is. It's extremely simple. My wife actually etched this glass for me for a gift, so I'm glad that that one made it in the video because we don't have whiskey glasses. We don't drink whiskey. So, you know, apple juice it is. As you can see, it worked great. It just uses these little pipe mesh pieces that come in packs of like 100 or 1,000. They're extremely cheap, and I would probably include about 5 of them if I were selling them. Online, I'd probably sell this for about $25. In person, anywhere from like $15 to $20. I think that shipping on this would be incredibly reasonable because it is so small, and I made it so that it would fit standard whiskey size glasses with a little bit of overhang. Fun little project, obviously worked really well, honestly kind of better than I thought it would, so yeah. Let's go over our fire starters. All you're going to need is an egg crate or something similar, so those little wax paper shot glasses, stuff like that. Don't use anything plastic, but these little cardboard egg containers worked perfect for this. Now, this is nothing special. I just kind of grabbed this off the floor next to my planer. So on your CNC, all this dust that's coming off, you want the bigger chips, of course. That's what's gonna light on fire the quickest and not smolder a ton. But Any sawdust will do. Then you take some of your mixture, which is just oil and wax, and then you're going to pour that mixture all over your sawdust. You want this to really soak in, and you want there to be a lot of this mixture and no dry sawdust. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and close it up and then just wait for it to dry. While that is cooling down, we can go ahead and use this exact same mixture. You can put this in jars or in bigger containers, and this is what you're going to be using as wood butter. In my previous video, when I go over the very large cutting board, I mentioned that wax is the best preventative from staining your boards with raspberries, with red meats, anything like that. So this has both wax and mineral oil in it. If you go to the store and you buy like a wood conditioner or something like that that says both wax and oil, this is all that it is. My mixture has both beeswax and soy wax in it. You can use either one of those, that's perfectly fine. Just make sure that if you're using beeswax or soy wax or both, that you advertise that with your boards, because some people do have soy allergies or beeswax allergies. That is something to note. I have a bunch of these jars left over from when I made candles, which is why I have this from when I made candles, and I called them Hamdles. I still think that's one of the best names I've ever come up with. You can set these aside, let these cool down. You can sell just this at a farmer's market for like $5 or $10, and you can market it saying you have any wooden utensil in your house. This is conditioner for all of your wood kitchen tools. You sell it just like that, slap a little sticker on the front with your Rollo heat printer. Those things are just free as can be, and boom, you've got yourself a product. So these I'll keep in my kitchen, but I want to make a very large one for the wood shop so that I can just open it up and use it in a big bucket form. Wow, what an adventure today was. But we still have miles to go before we sleep. Let's go ahead and head over to the grill. Hi, welcome to my grill. If any of y'all have a big green egg that can be kind of difficult to light, once they're going, you know, they're going. These are going to help it get going a lot easier. Now, all you've got to do is get out your knife or a pair of scissors and just cut them, break them in half. And today, we're just going to be using 3 of them. See how that just popped off? And in just a few minutes, we will have a nice roaring fire. It has been 4 minutes, and the grill says that it is climbing up and approaching 500 degrees. Let's see why. See all that flame? That is just from those starters. Alright, let's go ahead and start heating up our grate. You obviously want to get your grill as hot as humanly possible because you're trying to burn in the grate pattern at the very end of this. Please use some form of protection because you will burn yourself, because this just passed like 900 degrees. So very, very hot. Now let's just go ahead and see if we can get some grill marks in our grill scraper. You can see that it just burns in your personal grill's grate pattern so that later when the grill is cold, or you can also use when it's hot, obviously, you can use that to scrape away any type of gunk. I'll just make sure you get your grill hot. Obviously, the hotter, the quicker it is going to burn, and then the softer wood, the easier it is going to burn in for your grill. I hope that y'all do check out the supporters of Maketember. They are linked down in the description below. Figure out the hint for what tomorrow is. Fire Day was fun, though. I had a blast. I hope y'all enjoyed it as well. Tomorrow is like one of the oldest games ever.